students, today we are going to discuss on a new division of plant kingdom, that is the second division according to your syllabus, and this is the bryophytes. Students, bryophytes, the members of bryophytes are thallus-like because their body is not differentiated into true leaves, stems and roots. Yes, students, their body is not differentiated into true leaves, true stem and true roots. But the members of bryophytes are commonly known as amphibians of plant kingdom. Yes, students, amphibian of plant kingdom. Why they are called amphibians of plant kingdom? Yes, students, there is, as you know that the amphibians are what? The amphibians are the kind of organism that has ability to survive on the terrestrial zone as well as in aquatic zone. Yes, students, they can survive in the terrestrial and aquatic zone both. That's why they are called the amphibians. Thus, students, the bryophytes are the kinds of plants that can survive are found on the moist surfaces of the soil, the shady regions, the stones or rock surfaces, and they forms a green cover, or you can say that mat on the surfaces of the soil and rock surfaces where they are present. Whereas they perform the process of reproduction in the water. That's why they are called amphibians. Okay, students, right? Now, students, the plant body of the bryophytes are not differentiated into true leaves, true stems, and true roots, but the roots are rhizoidal or rhizoids, and it may be unicellular or multicellular. On maturity, the rhizoidal roots being the multicellular, and the plants bears the spores. The spores are known for the formation of gamete cells. Yes, students, the formation of gamete cells. The gamete cells are formed after the process of meiosis division, and thus the plant body which bears the gamete cells called gametophytes. Students, in bryophytes, the process of reproduction take place by the gamete cells. It means they perform the sexual reproduction. Yes, student, they perform the sexual mode of reproduction with the presence of the male and female branches either on the same thalli or on the different thalli. Yes, students, the male gamete cells are formed by the gametophytes that are called the anthrozoids. Yes, students, that are called the anthrozoids. The anthrozoids has the gamete cells in which they produce. They are called the antheridium. What are they called? Antheridium. Antheridium are the male gametes. Antheridium. Whereas the female reproductive part of the bryophytes is flask-like. What's it? Flask-like and called archegonia. Archegonia. Each archegonia produce a single female gamete that is called ova or egg. Yes, students, each female archegonia, or you can say that the part of the female reproductive part, produce a single ova or egg at a time, and when the antheridium, the male reproductive gamete cell, and archegonia, the female gamete cell, fuses in water, they fuse to form a diploid zygote, and this zygote bears a stage of capsular body that is called sporophyte. The sporophyte of the bryophytes is consist of three main parts: the foot, the seta, and the capsule. Students, the bryophytes are primarily classified into two classes. What are these? The first one is liverworts, and the second one is mosses. The first one is liverwort, and the second one is mosses. Students, what are liverworts? Taking the example of liverwort, Marsantia, and Riccia are the most common example of liverwort. Whereas the Funaria is the best example of the mosses. What are liverworts? As the students, its name confirm that liverworts, these are the foliage leaves-like plants whose body is differentiated into the leaves and roughly are, you can say that, false stems and rhizoids. Students, the foliage leaves of the liverworts containing the gemma-like structures, or you can say that gemma are cup-bearing structures that are called gemma cups. The gemma cups are the gamete-producing organs of the liverwort. Gemma cups produce gametes, and these gametes are called spores or gametophytes. When the gametophytes get fuses with the male gamete and from the male branch and the female gamete of the female branch, then they forms a diploid zygote. This is called the sporophyte. Sporophyte is the main plant body of the liverwort or bryophytes. Sporophytes is consist of three types of components: the foot, the seta, and capsule. Now here I am going to describe the structure of Marsantia, its male as well as female branch. This is the Marsantia, and this is the antheridium. Anthrozoids are antheridium of the male branch. Antheridium. These are the gemma cups which detach from the plant's body to free on the floating, free and floating on the water surfaces to fuse with the anthrozoids or archegonia to forms the zygote for the formation of sporophyte. This is the rhizoid, the midrib, and cup. This is a male branch, or you can say that male reproductive part. And now here I will give the structure of a female liverwort or marsantia. There is no more differences in the male and female branch. Only the difference in between them is the presence of Anthridium and Archegonia. Its Archegonium is somewhat flattened and have a receptacles-like structure that is just like to the stigma in the higher plants. This is Archegonia, and this is the rhizoids as shown in this diagram. It also bears the gemma cup-like structures. These gemma cups detach from the main plant body and float on water. This is male branch or male marsantia, and this is the female marsantia. Thus, students, these are the main reproductive part of the marsantia. It produces the anthridiospores and it produces the archegoniospores. It means the egg or ova. Now, students, we are going to discuss about the funaria. Students, funaria are also the kind of bryophytes whose plant body is not well defined into proper leaves, stems and roots. On the place of roots, the rhizoidal roots are present, rhizoids are present. The rhizoids are multicellular and may be unicellular. But students, the plants contain the male as well as female branch. The male branch bears the seta, or you can say that the capsular structure that is called sporophyte, whereas the female branch bears the archegoniospore. Here this is the leafy structures that are present on the male branch, and this is the capsular structure that is called sporophyte, and it also bears a female branch in which the leaves are somewhat quiescent. It means the branch. And when the spores or gametes transfer from this male branch to this female branch, then the formation of zygote takes place, this process take place inside the water. That's why they are called the amphibians of kingdom plant. This is the female branch. This is the seta, capsule, and this is the male branch. Of the Funaria. Thus, students, overall, the bryophytes are well known for the process of sexual reproduction. Thanks, students, for joining today's lecture.